Good morning and welcome to today's pre-market video. Now in today's pre-market video we're going to take a look at the Sensex expiry and what news will affect our markets. Now before we go ahead in the video, I would suggest you take a look at the last two pre-market videos. This is in those I did not cover the index expiring on that day, but rather I covered numerous stocks which are in the F&O space, but I did not cover them only from an F&O perspective but also from an equity perspective. So if you're an equity trader or an F&O trader who wants a clean trade plan on those stocks, then do watch the video. I will provide a link to that in the description box below, and I believe it will be very helpful for a lot. Now coming to today's video, on the news front, I'll first cover the international news. On the news front, a lot of data which would not be relevant before for the Indian market context has become relevant. This is, for example, the ADP numbers have been released in America. And before, the ADP numbers would affect their market slightly, not even much, but now it has come a major thing. ADP measures private sector payrolls, and their numbers have come at the weakest since the third quarter of 2023. So now this, combined with the beige book report of yesterday, again has started jogging up the 50 BPS rate cut hopes. This is the Jones report earlier had sort of put a nail in it, but these two, because it's two sets of data which have come in like that, gives a boost that yes, a 50 BPS rate cut might become a reality very soon. But now everyone will be watching only one thing, it's Friday's non-farm payrolls report. This is, if that comes in, basically shows strength, then it will help the rates and it will help equities initially, but it won't be also good for equities. But that's the story for another day. As we start explaining that, we might do a 20-minute video. So right now, that is why the American markets are positive, is that rate cut hope of 50 has come back into the equation, which was not. Now, coming to the local news, there is nothing as of now which is going to affect it, but I believe the Indian market in general will take a bit of a pause until Monday, because the GST Council is meeting on Monday, and that is a major news event. And there are a lot of, like the health insurance companies want the 18% GST on premiums and everything decided. There are a lot of factors which have been put up, and so that meeting has come very important. So anyone who is trading, I think today's trading session will be a bit more tricky, because I expect more calmness on the equity, let's say, options front, because everyone will be waiting to see what happens on Monday, from Monday next week with the GST. Plus, everyone's waiting in America also for that data point, so that puts everything in a holding pattern. So now we come to the Sensex index. Now coming to the Sensex, when we put on all the levels, things come a bit tricky. Why I say that is, usually in all the expiry videos you'll see that I tend to share an aggressive stance and a cautious stance. But Sensex, as of now where it is, I think I personally as a trader, on the option selling front and the option buying front, I would prefer more of a cautious stance, because number one, as I said earlier, everything has come into a holding pattern, I would say, because of the GST Council meeting which is going to be there on Monday. Then, let's say when we take the Nifty, BANKNIFTY and Sensex, the Nifty is weak, BANKNIFTY is strong, and Sensex is neutral. So that makes it a very interesting dilemma, as three of them are interrelated with stocks listed in all three in some cases, and that ends up making the situation a bit tricky. So now, I think option buyers who want to trade Sensex, number one, do not trade this expiry options, go to the next. Option buyers who want to trade, go to next week's options, as I think the decay kill in this expiry will be more severe than usual. So be cautious on that front. And then option buyers will have to be ready to take dual-sided moves, small trades. In fact, most of this week, when I think about the option buying side, which I have been doing, I have been basically doing more of smaller trades rather than a trade where I enter at, let's say, 10 and then I can exit at 11 and get a good amount of points. I've been having to go for a lower point range and quick ins and quick outs, because that's just how the week has been. So I expect that to be put to a new level in the Sensex expiry. And now I believe as long as the Sensex stays between 82,750 and 82,300, this phenomenon will continue. We'll get dual-sided moves, but my main fear for the option buying side, why I'm saying a lot of caution has to be taken, this is the wider range. But what if it ends up being between 82,550 and 82,300? This is, it can end up narrowing, or it can end up narrowing between this side, and that will be a complete killer for option buyers. So I think option buyers, go to next week expiry. If you want to trade, use those options, plus use a lower quantity, as this will be a tricky expiry to trade unless we get out of this range, as I said, of 82,750 to 82,300. This is anywhere on these two sides will be a killer for us. Now coming to the option selling front. Option selling front, as I said, I expect this range to continue, but until we break it, option sellers will benefit. Option buyers will get crucified. So I believe if you're cautious, first let's do aggressive. If you're an aggressive option seller, then you can go and sell above 82,750 calls. But if you're a cautious option seller, then I would suggest you go sell above 82,900. Now, why am I not saying 83,100? Because even if we have a spike towards this zone, even by chance 83,100, there will be a cool off period, as this is a very major resistance level, and that will bring us roughly towards this point, and those options should expire well. That is if we get out of this range. Now on the put selling side, if you're an aggressive option seller, very aggressive basically, then I think you can sell below 82,300. But if you're a cautious option seller, then 81,950 will be very cautious. On the put sell, there can be three hierarchies instead of, I would say this is very aggressive, this is aggressive, and this is cautious. So normal aggressive, 82,120 and below. Severely cautious, 81,950 and below. I most likely will fall to the severely cautious on the put sell side, while on the call sell side I'll be a bit more aggressive. Now most will say American market is right now, now when I'm recording it at night, American market is positive. Why I'll be more aggressive on that side? This is any up move. Right now we'll need the support of all three indexes, Nifty, BANKNIFTY and Sensex. So until all three play tandem, we will not get a clean up move. And the GST council meeting, as I said, will cause a cool off. So I think I can be more aggressive on that side. Now how will I trade? I will probably in the morning period enter more call sells and very few put sells. Then in the latter part of the day I will increase my put sells and slightly increase the call sells. So this, as I said, this is a very balancing game in this expiry. It is stuck within a range. A lot of news is affecting it, international and local, GST plus the rate cut hopes and everything. So it is a cautious expiry. Even option sellers should use a lower volume due to the high risk nature of the expiry. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and if you liked it, then subscribe to your channel, like the video and hit the notification bell. Thank you.